Hello, I'm Ed Gunz, a real estate writer in Baltimore. We're here today in the offices of Cho, Benn, Holbach, talking to Diane Cho and David Benn about a new development in the history of their company. They have just been acquired by Quinn Evans Architects of Washington, D.C. So thank you very much for having us.
Thank you for coming.
I wanted to just start off by asking how this came about.
Well, I would say about 10 years ago, we started to, in the back of our minds, start thinking about an exit strategy, because our whole lives, we've so absorbed in the architecture and the trying to build a business and keep our staff happy. But we knew that in 10 years or so, we would be getting to that age when you might want to think about retirement, and also we wanted to create some kind of a growth plan for the people that were younger than us, because we have a very talented staff behind us. And so we hired management consultants to help us. And we started about 4 years ago with an internal transition. So we have 4 younger stockholders, and we started to sell shares internally. But we knew that for their growth and for the people under them, it might be great to also consider a merger with a larger firm.
As architects, what we like to do is architecture, and so we don't really, we've never done this before. We've never really gone through a transition. It's a new thing for us, and we it isn't the kind of something you wake up in the morning you just want to do, but you knew you had to do it. And so this thing with Quinn Evans sort of happened because of just sort of out there talking with different groups, and someone mentioned that Quinn Evans was looking to do something in Baltimore.
Carl Elefante, who works for Quinn Evans, was a friend of George's, our other partner. And so, that's key, because we had a personal connection there.
Yeah.
And George called Carl, and Carl seemed excited on the phone. George just put it out there. Did you ever think about maybe joining forces with us as a Baltimore branch? And then he got excited and told the president of Quinn Evans, and it just started to snowball from there.
What gave you a good feeling about this, that it would be a good fit? You have not worked with them before?
We have not. We've competed with them.
Mm-hmm. You competed for the Peabody?
I don't know. No, we did not compete for Peabody, but we won a performing arts building at George Mason University and beat them. We both entered a design competition to do the aviary for the National Zoo, and they won that. So we run into each other. But what we did find when we had the talk with Larry was how well our markets meshed, because we were both in arts and culture, we were in education, what am I missing? Historic preservation and adaptive reuse. Mm-hmm. And those are all of our markets. So we thought, as Larry says, 1 + 1 = 4, if we can combine our strengths, because they're all the same. We would not have done it if we couldn't have kept our Baltimore office intact, operating as a branch office, so that we still had the family feel that we always have, or could creatively.
So you will stay in the same location?
We will stay in the same location.
Same
in fact,
staff?
we're retaining our name. It's Cho, Benn, Holbach, a Quinn Evans company, because they've said the brand name was so strong. And
we're telling our clients they really won't notice the difference. The same teams, the same people. I mean, that's what they want, is the people to continue, of course.
Have they merged with anybody else? Do they have a history?
Not really. This is their largest acquisition. I think they've, maybe taken over a small firm that they had just absorbed in their office, into their office. And all the other offices, like Detroit and Wisconsin, were spin-offs from their original office. Not an acquisition.
So for us, when we're looking at different ideas, the idea of sort of being sort of pretty independent still, and being able to not just sort of being sort of wiped out and moved somewhere else and becoming part of something else, but having our own identity still is important.
But we've over the years been very focused on design and not so much business, which is why we haven't grown. They started the same time that Barbara and I did, Quinn and Evans. And now they're over 100 people, and we were almost 30. They're very good business people. We're going to have so much better marketing support, HR support, technology support that we never had before, because we were small. And now by having that, we can spend more time doing good work.